What did a regular day look like for someone living 2,000 years ago? Forget kings and pharaohs. Today we dive into daily life in three of the greatest civilizations in human history: ancient Rome, ancient Egypt, and ancient Greece. From food and fashion to family, beliefs, and even bathrooms, this is how people really lived in the ancient world. Waking up in the ancient world. In all three cultures, people rose with the sun. In Egypt, the heat dictated daily routines. Greek homes were built around courtyards for cool mornings, while Romans relied on open windows and early schedules. What did they eat? Egyptians had bread, onions, and beer. Greeks loved olives, wine, and cheese. Romans? They were famous for fish sauce called garum, and wealthy citizens enjoyed multi-course feasts. For most people, food was simple but seasonal: grains, fruits, vegetables, and occasional meat. Homes and housing, Egyptian homes, were made of mud brick and had flat roofs. Greek houses were modest outside but elegant inside, with frescoes and fountains. Romans had everything from apartment blocks, insular, to sprawling villas with heated floors. Clothing and fashion, Egyptians wore linen to beat the heat, with both men and women using makeup and perfumes. Greeks preferred draped garments like chitons and himatians. Romans adopted the toga, but only for formal occasions. Everyday wear was practical. Tunics and sandals ruled the streets. Work and occupations. Most Egyptians were farmers or laborers. Scribes were highly respected. Greeks had craftsmen, soldiers and traders, and philosophers, of course. Romans worked in everything from construction to politics. Slavery was a key part of all three economies, unfortunately. Family and social life. Egyptians had strong family ties, and women had more rights than in many later cultures. Greek women stayed in the home while men participated in public life. Romans emphasized the paterfamilias, the male head of household who ruled over the family. Religion and beliefs. Egyptians believed in the afterlife, with gods like Osiris and Ra guiding their destiny. Greeks honored gods like Zeus and Athena through festivals, temples, and sacrifices. Romans adopted Greek gods and renamed them Jupiter, Mars, Venus, while also worshipping emperors later on. Education and literacy. Egyptian education was reserved for the elite, scribes and priests. Greeks valued learning, with boys studying math, rhetoric, and music. Romans built on Greek education, but added law and military strategy. Girls were often educated at home, if at all. Entertainment and leisure. Egyptians played board games like Senet. Greeks enjoyed theater, poetry, and the Olympic Games. Romans loved the arena. Gladiator fights, chariot races, and public baths were crowd favorites. Health and hygiene. Egyptians used herbal remedies and believed in spiritual healing. Greeks pioneered early medicine. Think Hippocrates. Romans were obsessed with cleanliness. Public baths, aqueducts, and toilets kept their cities functioning, at least by ancient standards. Marriage and relationships. In Egypt, marriage was informal but respected. Greeks had arranged marriages with dowries, and women had limited rights. Romans followed tradition too, with arranged marriages and elaborate ceremonies, but divorce was surprisingly common. Death and the afterlife. Egyptians prepared for eternity with mummification and burial rituals. Greeks believed in Hades, a shadowy afterlife. Romans blended Greek and local beliefs, often cremating the dead and honoring them with festivals like Parentalia. Government and citizenship. Pharaohs ruled Egypt like gods. Greek city-states had varying systems. Athens birthed democracy, while Sparta had dual kings. Rome shifted from monarchy to republic to empire, setting a model for Western governance. Warfare and protection. Egypt had chariots and archers. Greek hoplites fought in tight phalanxes. Rome's legions were highly trained, disciplined, and crucial to its expansion. Innovations and inventions. Egyptians built pyramids, calendars, and surgical tools. Greeks invented geometry, democracy, and the alarm clock. Romans engineered roads, aqueducts, and concrete, many of which still influence the world today. Ancient Egypt, Greece, and Rome weren't just empires. They were the homes of real people, with dreams, struggles, and daily routines that shaped our modern world. Which civilization would you most want to live in? Let us know in the comments. And if you're fascinated by the daily life of the past, don't miss our upcoming episodes on medieval towns and Viking life.